Hi guys, this is Kim from SDR Lab. So in this video, this is my very first video, I'm going to be sharing how to do research. This is just a typical research stack for me, if you will. In this example, in the upcoming videos, I'll be featuring Seamless.ai because I just finished reading the Break Into Tech Sales book and I thought it'd be a great case study, if you will, but it will be a real submission. So who knows, maybe something will happen. We'll see. But anyways, when you are preparing to sell yourself or sell something, right, you need to do your research first. So this is how I would at least start my research. And it really can be organic, but I think you should have a foundation that you start with and then fall down the rabbit hole. I like a structured approach with organics, with an organic experience kind of thrown in there, sort of like a combination. All right. So Google News is my first site. So when I typed in Seamless.ai, initially nothing came up, nothing of note. But when I typed in the founder's name, which is Brandon Bernanson, a few things came up. So I'm going to look at these things here, see what notes I can take, and, make those notes. And then once I'm done with all the sites that I'm going to feature here and I've gathered enough intel, I'm going to use that to create the basically my pitch and the email that I'll be sending out to the decision makers that I determine. And you'll see that process play out in the upcoming videos. So I have Google News as a part of my tech stack, okay? And like I said, you might have to be a little creative. You might try the company name and nothing comes up. Well, who works at the company? Who is the CEO? Who's the founder? Who's the CFO? Think along those lines, okay? And do your research based on that information. I also have PR Newswire. So this can be beneficial as well. I'm going to start with Seamless as well here in their search and see what I can find. If not, I'll kind of go through the same process I just mentioned. Maybe Brandon's name will come up, something like that. That's prnewswire.com. Then you get into the actual company website or blog. Not all companies are going to have this, but I know that Seamless is big on content as well. So I'm going to snoop around here and also, quite frankly, be learning more because this is a great site for just, stepping up your game. But see what else I can find here that might be helpful and useful in my pitch. I also have their company testimonials up here too. So whatever company you're working with, look for their testimonials. That way you'll know what type of clients they serve and you can speak to that as well. And Crunchbase is another really great resource. You can look for tech news on here as well, but also company specific news. So this is the Crunchbase news page, but Crunchbase itself, this platform, it gives you information about a company, including recent news and activity, which is what I need. I needed company specific news. So this is perfect, right? So I'll have more data that's specific to this company to speak to when I create my pitch. The other thing I wanted to speak on was, you might be on a budget. If you're job hunting, there's a good chance that you are. So, maybe utilize your free trial strategically or look at the headlines and just Google them yourself. Okay. These are some suggestions. But this gives you the website, company size, etc., location. Like there's so much here that you can use and just kind of do a deeper dive so that you can come up with a pitch that's going to work. Next, is good old LinkedIn. Most companies have a LinkedIn page or presence. This is another great way to see what positions, of course, are available. And look, they have all this sales stuff here, and I'm going to see what makes sense to me on here as well. And also take a look at their post and see if they have any company news or updates there that I can speak to. The other things that I wanted to say were just to be generally aware of what's happening in tech. TLDR, this is a newsletter and a website. You can come here once a day, a couple times a week. I tend to do like 1 to 2 times a week. I'll just go through my inbox because I'm in there. I subscribe to their newsletter and I'll just read and get the updates. I love tech tea. I love tech business tea. It's so interesting. So you get to see kind of like what's going on. Like right now, this whole thing with open AI and Elon Musk is so interesting. Like I want to know what's going on, right? And thinking of like interviews, when you get ready to interview, if you have some tech news just kind of floating around in your head, if you can throw that into your interview and turn your interview into more of a conversation, it's going to show people that you are keeping abreast of what's happening around you, especially, in the industries and communities that are specific to you. That's important. Another tech news resource would be This Week in Tech. This is a podcast. They have a YouTube channel. Nowadays, I tend to be a YouTube podcast person. So back in the day, like I would use Apple Podcasts, and sometimes I still do. I've known about them since the days of Apple Podcasts for me personally, when I used to use this app more frequently. But now, like, I'm gonna go to their YouTube channel. Okay, so just think about how you consume content and see if you can subscribe to a few things. It can get overwhelming because there are so many things. I'm just giving you a baseline of, suggestions here. Then we also have IT Brew. I literally just signed up to this. So this is reminding me to, when you're in Instagram or whatever platform you're into, TikTok, start liking things that are relevant to you, because the algorithm will start to send you things. I found out about this newsletter through Instagram, but I like specific things that lets them know that I want them to send me this type of stuff, and so they do. And I have a few newsletters that I signed up to this year, and I'm beginning to feel more well informed because I've trained my algorithm to know what to send me. Okay, so hopefully this is another helpful resource for you. It's itbrew.com. It's very similar to TLDR, which has been around much longer. This has been around for years, but they have the website and the newsletter, and you can come down here and look at all this business tea. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to read. Like, I'm super excited. So anyways, this is the first step, researching. The next step is going to be compiling the research into a pitch. And I have 3 or 4 people / sites that I'm going to be submitting my resume and pitch to. I'm going to have to tailor those pitches to each of those folks or organizations, if you will. And you will see that process in the next video. Thanks for watching.